It's Network Friday. And today I didn't submit a single application because USA Jobs was posting, but just not posting for me. I did do something that's almost as important. I kept my networking momentum and I posted about something we don't talk about often: allyship in the workplace, especially when there's an office bully or a culture of bullying at your job. Because a lot of people aren't just job hunting, y'all. They're trying to survive a work environment where folks are getting very bold nowadays, while everyone else is getting quiet. So stay with me. And by the end of this episode, you're going to have a simple allyship playbook: what to say, what to do, and how to respond without losing your cool. Because today's mindset is make courage a habit. Hey family, welcome back to Ways of Change. I'm Vanessa and this is day 30 of 100, posting every day while I take you with me on my overseas job hunt, the mindset shifts, and the real life stuff that comes with building a new chapter. Since it's Network Friday, here's what you're going to get: a quick overseas job hunt update, today's networking moves, 3 connections plus 1 DM to someone in Landstuhl, the mindset tip, make courage a habit, and the topic of the day, allyship and office bully dynamics, how to be an ally and how to respond if you're the one being targeted. And at the end, I want you to drop a tip in the comments, something that helped you navigate tough workplace dynamics. Let's get into today's field report, because no application doesn't mean no progress. Today I didn't submit anything on USA Jobs, not because there weren't any postings. There were tons of postings, but they just weren't in my field or even close to my field. Sometimes the best move is to stay in your lane as much as possible. I'm keeping my alerts on. I'm watching for the right roles and continuing to build my relationships in the locations I'm targeting, especially Germany, Italy, and now Hawaii. Who knows? The lesson for today: alignment beats anxiety every time. Now, this is where the momentum happened today, because networking is planting seeds, y'all. Today I sent 3 LinkedIn connection requests. I also liked, commented, and engaged, because engagement is part of networking. And I sent that 1 DM to the person in Landstuhl. Nothing fancy, just a respectful message, the kind that says, hey, I'm exploring opportunities in your area and I'd love to learn what you can share. I'm learning that the more human you are, the better the networking feels, because people aren't robots. They can tell when you're copying and pasting, I think anyway. And if you're watching and if you're networking too, here's your reminder: Network Friday isn't about instant replies, y'all. It's about consistent presence. Okay, fam, if this series has been encouraging to you at all, hit like and subscribe and share it with someone who's job hunting or navigating workplace stress. It really helps the channel. Thank you so much. If you've been waiting for courage like the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz, this is your sign. A mindset tip of the day: make courage a habit, meaning courage isn't something you wake up with randomly. Courage is something you practice like a muscle. Because if you only speak up when you feel fearless, you'll stay quiet forever. So here's what courage as a habit looks like. It's saying the small truth consistently. It's not laughing at jokes that belittle people. It's not pretending you didn't see what you saw. It's holding boundaries without becoming cruel. It's choosing integrity over comfort. And y'all, courage isn't always loud. Sometimes courage is calm. Sometimes it's a sentence. Sometimes courage is an email. And sometimes courage is documenting and escalating with wisdom, but it's still courage. And it's still a habit. And if you're thinking, yeah, Vanessa, that sounds good, but is it really my place to speak up? Well, let me anchor this spiritually. to anchor this with scripture because standing up for people is what separates us from the bad guys. Today's scripture is Proverbs 31:8-9. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. This is an incredible verse for the season we're in because it makes allyship a calling, not a personality trait. This is bigger than being nice. It's about justice, dignity, protection. So if you've been scared to speak up, ask God for wisdom, not just boldness, because boldness without wisdom can get messy. But wisdom with courage, that changes environments. All right, now that we've curated the mindset and the foundation, let's talk about the real life part. What allyship looks like when you're dealing with an office bully or a culture of bullying at work. Let's get into this topic because too many people are suffering in silence. Today I posted about allyship when you're dealing with the office bully, and I want to go deeper without naming names, just the principle. Here's what I believe. Bullying survives when people act like it's not their business. And people stay quiet because they're afraid of conflict, afraid of becoming a target, afraid of being labeled dramatic, afraid of rocking the boat. But let me say this plainly. Sometimes boats need to be rocked because peace at the expense of someone else's dignity is not peace. Let's discuss how to be an ally, even if you're not a manager. Number one, don't leave people isolated. Say something like, "Hey, I saw that. Are you okay? That didn't sit right with me." The second thing is use your presence. Be present when you know the behavior shows up. You see Angela cornering Jill in the break room? Make a beeline to the break room yourself. Back people up in the moment with phrases like, "Let's keep it professional. That came off harsh. Can we rephrase? I want to make sure we're being respectful." And then name the behavior, not the person. That tone felt dismissive. That comment wasn't necessary. Let's focus on the work. And then you want to follow up afterward. Tell Shelly or Jack, "If you want, I can support you if you decide to document this. Want me to be present if you bring it up with leadership?" Here are some ways to respond if you're the target. First, pause, because there's power in the pause. Then ask for clarity. Can you clarify what you mean? What outcome are you looking for? And then you want to hold the line with a boundary. I'm open for feedback, delivered respectfully. I can discuss the work, not personal attacks. Let's put this in an email to be clear. And then you want to document without drama, the date, the time, what happened, any witnesses, the impact. Don't confuse professionalism with silence. Professional doesn't mean punching bag. And least we not forget, sometimes the bully isn't just a person. Sometimes it's a culture. And I want to sit right here for a second because this is the part people whisper about but don't name out loud, like Baltimore. Bully culture is when disrespect becomes normal. It's when sarcasm is a default communication style. People get embarrassed in meetings and everybody pretends it's just their personality. Intimidation gets rewarded. And the safest thing to do is to stay silent. And the wild part is, over time, good people start adjusting themselves to survive. You shrink, you stop speaking up, you stop contributing ideas, you start double checking everything because you're scared of being criticized. That's not a tough workplace. That's a toxic environment. And bully culture keeps going for a few reasons. People fear retaliation. People don't want to be the next target. People think reporting things won't change. And sometimes leadership ignores it because the bully is productive. But hear me on this. If someone's results come with a trail of harm, the cost is too high. because the culture will eventually run off your strongest people. Now, I want to be honest. You may not be able to fix the whole culture by yourself, but you can protect yourself inside of it. Here's what that looks like. Stay grounded in who you are. Don't let the environment shape your character. Document patterns, not feelings, patterns. Build safe alliances with people who value professionalism. And use boundaries. I'm available for work conversations delivered respectfully. And when needed, escalate strategically, not emotionally. And if you're watching this like, Vanessa, I'm tired of this. I get it. That's why allyship matters, because when one person speaks up, it can feel risky. But when multiple people hold the line for dignity, the bully loses oxygen. Let me give you a quick culture check question. Ask yourself, do I feel safe to be myself and do good work here? Do I feel safe to be myself and do good work here? If the answer is consistently no, your body already knows the truth. And I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm telling you to stop gaslighting yourself. And this connects back to today's mindset. Make courage a habit. Sometimes courage is speaking up. Sometimes it's documenting. Sometimes courage is being the ally. And sometimes courage is deciding, I'm not going to stay in an environment that keeps training me to be small. All right, let's land this plane because I want to hear from you in the comments. Okay, family. Day 30 is a wrap. We clocked in and clocked out. If you got value from this, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're following the 100-day journey, make sure to follow the playlist too so you can keep up. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a tip in the comments. What's a strategy that's helped you handle workplace bullying, protecting your peace, or be a better ally? And if you're dealing with this right now, you don't deserve to be mistreated, and you're not alone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Vanessa, and this is Waves of Change. I'll see you tomorrow for day 31, the last day of January. Bye now.